Alright, you guys, just want to give a quick example of the OilBot in use, because I know there's been some confusion on it, and just a little bit of background on what it is. You'd use this pretty much any time you're going to pay in crypto, because, when you pay in crypto, the other party really has no obligation to hold up their end of the deal. They could literally just run, just take it, and be gone. It's completely anonymous. So what OilBot aims to do is to become a third party, a trusted automated third party, and how it does that is it creates an intermediary wallet. So between the sender and the receiver, there's going to be a wallet. And you're going to send the amount that was promised to the receiver to the wallet, and the wallet will hold it until conditions are met. The receiver does what they're supposed to do, or what they're supposed to do. Or let's say if you ordered a Bitcoin machine from China, it holds the money in there until you receive the Bitcoin machine and you manually release the money. So the way it does that is it relies on a voting system. The intermediary wallet monitors for three conditions. It monitors that the initial amount has been put in. It monitors for the receiver's vote, which is 2% transaction fee, and then it monitors for the sender's vote, which is also a 2% transaction fee. Once it sees all three of those, it releases the money to who it was intended to. And one thing that we added on as well, since we have to protect the receiver as well, essentially there's a 10% honesty deposit that goes on top of the initial amount. So when you make your first deposit on the amount, it's going to be the amount plus 10%. And once a successful transaction has occurred, you will get that 10% sent back to you automatically. All this does is make sure that the sender, once they receive their goods, goes back and releases the money to the receiver. Even though, there's no reason not to, since the money's already gone. The money cannot go backwards once it's in that intermediary wallet for that main amount. This makes sure that the sender holds up their obligation and the receiver holds up their obligation, so both parties are protected. In the event that both parties can't come to an agreement, the full amount is burned towards oil. So that's a deflationary tokenomics that if you invest in oil, the price will always go up because if somebody's using it, the fees are going to go towards oil. And the reason we do that is it automates the system. It puts the liability onto the users. And essentially, it's kind of like the PayPal of crypto. A scammer isn't going to use this bot since they know the money isn't going to be released to them. So in any case that this is used, 99% of the time, it's not going to get burned because only people who are willing to do good business with you are going to use this thing. So in all cases, we protect the buyer and we protect the seller. So that's a quick little introduction, just a quick explanation of it, because we want to get rid of all this scamming that we've experienced with crypto. You pay for something on Telegram, you don't get it. You pay for a call service, you don't get it. So now this is a way to hold people accountable and actually make sure you receive your services. So after that little explanation, let me go into the actual usage of it here. Start the video. So I'll be playing both the sender and the receiver for this. So I'm going to hit start here, and you'll see the welcome message. You'll see the description of it. Currently, at the moment, we are only doing Solana payments, no SBL tokens at the moment, but we will be adding Bitcoin either this weekend or by the time you see this video, Bitcoin most likely be added. So you can see everything's secure, no human intervention. You cannot release the money without both TX votes. The conditions are met. It's completely automatic. It does what it does, and it's a trusted third party to handle your money and give it to the next people. And there's no keys, there's no wallets or anything that are kept. So essentially, if the funds are lost, unfortunately, we cannot do anything because we don't store that for security reasons. So this is purely automated. There's no system for customer support. It is what it is, and it relies on the users to hold up their end of the bargain. So I'll show an example of being the sender here. So once you click sender, a new wallet has been created for this transaction. This is going to be your intermediary wallet, and that's going to be your public key. That's where we're going to send everything to. And now it's going to ask how much SOL you want to send. Technically, you shouldn't send below 0.2 because it uses a non-rent exempt wallet. which can cause some issues if there's not enough rent fees in there, depending on network conditions. But since I'm the developer, I sent 0.12. It works fine, you know. But just to safeguard your guys' money, I wouldn't send below 0.2. So you can see on the left-hand side here, I've opened up my test wallet. Test wallet 3 is going to be the sender, and then the temp burn wallet is going to be the receiver. So I'm going to go input the amount I would like to send, which is going to be 0.1. Sent that. Now you enter the recipient's SOL address, which is going to be the temp burn wallet in this case. Now, normally this would be somebody else doing this, but I'm just showing you how it works between two parties. The sender makes the contract and then sends the confirmation ID to the receiver to fulfill the contract. So following the flow of things here, now you're going to enter the sender's SOL wallet address, the temp or the test wallet 3, and it will catalog this. And now it's going to ask you the contract duration. So this is the duration you have for the contract that all conditions need to be met by. So it has to detect all 3 transactions in the exact amounts before this timer expires. And if you and the receiver cannot agree or send those transactions in that amount of time, that is when the amount will be burned towards oil. So I would say minimum time is an hour because people still have to figure out how to use it just in case anything goes wrong. Always set it over what you'd expect to use because you can always start new transactions. The timer will stay for that old transaction. You can start a new one. You can actually start as many as you want. But that timer will stay. So always put it over what you expect to do because sometimes it's not fast. So you'll go ahead and type your 1 hour in there or 1 week, 1 month, whatever you want. And now it's going to ask you to verify that you want to send 0.1 SOL to the receiver address. And everything looks good. The contract will be created and it cannot be edited. So I'm going to go ahead and click proceed once all is good and make sure that all the wallets matches there. Everything looks good. And going to hit proceed. So this is the key information page. The contract has been created. And now you can see the transaction has initiated and now the wallet is listening for deposits. And it checks for deposits every 3 minutes. So the directions at this point, if you're the sender, what you have to do is send your a promised amount to the wallet plus the 10% commitment deposit, which will be returned to you upon successful business conducted. You're going to send that to the wallet first, the 10% and the initial amount all in one go, and that will sit in the wallet. It'll detect that, and then you'll wait for the receiver to either send you the item or complete the service they have promised to do. So now that you've sent the initial amount in there, the receiver knows it's there. They can see the wallet address. They can also type in the unique transaction ID at the bottom there. So it's in there. Now you wait for them to finish their end of the deal. And once their end of the bargain is fulfilled, you send your confirmation TX. Your vote releases the money. So that vote down here, that 0.002 SOL, that is your vote that it's listening for. So when you send your 2% or 0.002 SOL fee to it, that is your release, and it will only release once it sees your vote is there, the initial amount is there, and the receiver has also sent their 2% fee and just your vote. So I'm going to let it continue here. The timer is now running. It has a countdown. It shows the time remaining. It gives you the unique key, and since you are the sender, you are going to have to send this unique key to the receiver, and they will verify by typing that into the bot on the receiver side. You'll see below that you have all the conditions, whether they are true or false. Currently they are all false because nothing's been sent. And now I'm going to go ahead and go over to the wallets and send each transaction. Copy the intermediary to the clipboard. You're going to take a look over here on SolScan, make sure it's created. It was created. It's good to go. It's recognized. It says account doesn't exist, but that's just because there's no rent in it. One thing to do is you should send your initial deposit as soon as possible because there's no rent inside of it. If a block occurs and there's no rent, it will delete the wallet, so it's in your best interest to send the initial amount as soon as possible. So going back to this, I'm going to send the initial amount, which is the initial amount plus 10%, 0.11 Sol. And you have to send these as two separate. Well, you send the vote and the initial amount as two separate transactions. The 0.11 Sol is the first transaction, and then your vote of 0.002 Sol is the second transaction. So I just sent the 0.11 over there. And we're going to wait to see when that hits. And now I'm going to simulate being the receiver. And I'm going to send the receiver's 0.002% fee, or 0.002 fee. And all of this goes to the intermediary wallet that is monitoring for transactions. Alright, sent my simulated receiver transaction vote to release. And now I'm going to go back to the initial test wallet. And now I'm going to act like I'm the sender again. And I would assume that all fees are met, or no, not all fees, but all conditions are met. You've received your product, you've received your service, and now you're going to vote to release the funds. And what this will do once detected, once all these turn true, is it will release the initial fund that you typed in, the 0.1, to the receiver. It will send your 0.1 back to you, or 0.01 back to you, the 10%, and then it will send 4% in fees to the community wallet, which is for oil, that automatically burns it to oil. So now I'm just showing the block explorer here. You can see that it was delivered to the intermediary wallet, the initial amount, and you'll see the Telegram bot refresh within 3 minutes roughly. And now you can see it's updated the status to true for the initial deposit amount received and the receiver confirmation received. So now we're going to go ahead and send the final transaction to release it. You've received your services, all is good, you're satisfied, and you're going to go ahead and send your 2% vote. And now, just to show you guys the receiver function and the fact you can start other contracts, if you just go and type start after your initial contract was created, it'll pop up the home screen again. And I'm only doing this so we can show you the receiver side of things, because if you were the receiver, to verify this transaction is legitimate and it's going where it says it is, we're going to use that unique ID created up here, and we're going to go to the receiver option of the bot, and we're going to type that in, and it's going to return all the information about this transaction. So the receiver knows everything is good, they know it's going where it says it's supposed to go, the amount is supposed to go where it's supposed to go. And the big thing here that you're going to have to check always is you're going to check if transaction already completed, and you're going to make sure that's false. If it's true, that means that wallet is no longer valid, it's no longer listening, and the timer has expired. And that's how you can check on the status of your purchase. When you type that transaction ID in, you're going to get that. And you're going to see, okay, everything's been released, and you're going to go check transactions in the wallet there. So we can see it's false here, so we're good to go. And we're going to go back to our wallet over here. Let's see what it does here. And if you were the receiver, you would send that 2% fee over there as your vote. And we're going to go over here and just look at all the transactions so you can see them happening in real time. You can see all 3 transactions are in there, and it's waiting to refresh for the third. You can see the votes, and you can see the initial amount deposited. And now I'm going to take you over to the burn account, and I'm going to show you there is nothing in there currently. This is where the 4% fees will go. That will be burned towards oil automatically. And we're just waiting for that last true to pop up. And just showing you all the accounts so you can verify that all transactions have occurred when this occurs, and it happens automatically. So nothing yet. Alright, and now we can see all 3 conditions have gone to true, and it gives you the goodbye message that says all transactions detected and verified, your money has been released and transaction completed, goodbye. So now we're going to go over to the wallets and check that this happens. It has about a 24-second delay after it shows that message for all the transactions to complete. So I'll go to the wallets and show you each wallet here. The first one is going to be the receiver wallet, and that's the temp burn wallet. You can see in the transaction here it's received 0.0958 of the 0.01 sol or 0.1 sol. And now we're going to go to the sender wallet and make sure they got their 10% fee back, their honesty deposit back. And they did. They got their 0.01 sol received back. And now we're going to check the final one, which is going to be the community wallet here. And that is going to show the 4% fee. And you can see 1 minute ago right here from our wallet. And that's our transaction wallet, and we are good to go. All transactions have occurred. This is a successful transaction. The only other case that would occur is if the conditions weren't detected, neither party could come to an agreement, and instead of 4% being burned towards the oil burning account, it will be 100%. So here's just the last look through of each wallet, each transaction, so you can see it occurred when it occurred. And everything is good to go. Thank you for watching. I hope this clears things up. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach us at our official Telegram or the bot support Telegram listed in the home message. And happy selling. Hopefully everything goes well.